Ladies and gentlemen, welcome you on our minorities crisis program. Today we have a special guest. He is a very great and gentleman. He is the director of Jihad Watch and the author of 10 books, including The Truth About Muhammad. He has led seminars on Islam and Jihad for the United States Central Command, United States Army Command, FBI, and the U.S. Intelligence Committee. He has also written over 300 articles about jihad and Islamic terrorism. He has books, he has written too many books and translated too many books in many languages, including Spanish, Italian, French, and Basque. Our guest today, the great man, Mr. Spencer. His articles on Islamic and other topics has appeared in the New York Post, the Washington Times, National Review Online, and many other journals. Mr. Spencer has also appeared on the BBC, CNN, Fox News, BBC, as well as on enormous radio program. On behalf of the whole world, I welcome Mr. Spencer in our program today. Welcome you, Mr. Spencer, our program today.
Thank you very much, Nubia. I'm very happy to be here.
Thank you very much. Mr. Spencer, as I read from biography right now, it shows that you have too many information about jihad in Islam. Are you against Islam or against Muslim or against terrorism?
I'm not against anything but the ideology of violent jihad and Islamic supremacism that would conquer and subjugate non-Muslims under the rule of Islamic law and deny them equality of rights. If Muslims would renounce those imperatives, whether to impose Islamic law upon us by violent or peaceful means, and they would take up the idea of peaceful coexistence as equals with non-Muslims in a society that does not establish Islamic law as the law of the land, then I would have no trouble with them. If they were sincere in these renunciations and reforms of Islam, then that would be just fine. But otherwise, then it becomes a matter for all free people, including Muslims who do not want to live under Sharia law, to defend themselves against this. And so this is the reason why I am doing the work that I'm doing to defend the ideas of freedom of speech and equality of rights and others that are denied under Islamic law.
Mr. Spencer, I need to just make some comparison between one issue and the other.
Yes.
We heard in the news a couple week or 1 week ago that our President Obama sent a letter to the Palestinian people to support them for their rights. Although we crying and the minorities all over the world, especially in Islamic world, crying, bleeding for him to stop killing or persecution against them like in Iraq. He never listened to them. Do you have any comment for that?
Well, there's a very great double standard among Islamic leaders. Ahmadinejad and many others also. They expect and even demand rights and treatment from non-Muslims that they would never grant to non-Muslims themselves. And so we see that he is calling for various concessions on the part of Israel for the Palestinians that he would never give to non-Muslims like the Baha'is and the Christians and others in Iran, even the Sunni minority. And so it's the same kind of thing that we see also with the Ground Zero Mosque, that Muslims are demanding that the Ground Zero Mosque be built as a matter of religious freedom. And yet all over the Islamic world, we see that Christians and others are denied various aspects of religious freedom. And in Saudi Arabia, they are not allowed to build any churches at all. And in other places, it's very difficult to get a permit to build a church or to repair an existing one in accord with classic tenets of Islamic law.
I'm not going to jump to Saudi Arabia. I'm going to make the comparison here in the United States. On the last rally on September 11, I met a Greek guy and I did an interview with him. There was a church for St. Nicholas, like couple or 1 block away from the World Trade Center. The state doesn't allow the Greek people to rebuild the church again, although they allow the Muslim to build the mosque. What kind of freedom here?
It's very strange. It's a very strange situation, Nabil, because yes, it's true that the Greek Orthodox Church, St. Nicholas, where my mother was baptized, as a matter of fact, was destroyed in the attacks on the World Trade Center on 9/11. And the city promised that they would be able to rebuild there, but now they've reneged and taken away the right that the Greek people have to build the church again, and yet the mosque is no problem. This is all part of a larger pattern of accommodation of Islam and concessions given to Islam to a tremendous degree in American society. And it seems as if they are assuming that these various concessions have to be made, or else there will be more strife between the Muslims and the non-Muslims. They don't seem to realize that these difficulties are coming from imperatives within teachings of Islamic law, and not anything that non-Muslims can control or can mitigate by giving concessions.
Mr. Spencer, let me get you in a point. I have 38 experience in Muslim countries. I know there is no separation between the religion and the state, and there is no separation between jihad and the religion. My concern, or the people concern, I'm trying to transfer the public opinion to you. The public opinion concern is about there is no separation between Islam and jihad. Is that true or not?
Yes, there is certainly true. Jihad is, according to Muhammad, one of the most important things that a Muslim can engage in. Somebody asked him once what was the greatest of deeds, and if there was a greater deed than jihad, rather, and he said that he couldn't think of one. And there are other hadith where he does name other things first, but still jihad is very high up. And so it's not something that is considered to be optional for a Muslim. How a Muslim puts it into practice, there can be various ways. He doesn't have to go and fight a war or blow himself up. He can finance jihad through Islamic charities, or can work for the spreading of Islam through peaceful means in various ways, or arguing for the truth of Islam against Christians in public forums, things like that. All these are forms of jihad. But it's not optional that a Muslim engage in something that is a jihad. He has to do it in some way.
Let me transfer one more public opinion during the last rally on September 11. I met and I interviewed a young man. He is in like 20s, something like that, and he's supporting building mosque. I asked him, do you know that there is suicide bombers in Islam against civilians? He told me in Christian too. I told him, mention me one. He told me the Oklahoma City. I told him, did the guy in Oklahoma City, in the name of Jesus Christ, I want to kill these people? He said no. So okay, I repeat the question until he told me, answered me clear. There is none in the Christian or Jewish who suicide themselves against civilians. I need to know why Muslim people bomb themselves